You know, I've never even heard of that. Dancing Boys of Afghanistan. I just did a search on Google and a Frontline video came up. I'll have to educate myself on that. So it's the first time ever. If this is the first time I've heard of it, I'm sure there's a lot of gays who've never heard of it either. Um, you know, it might be something similar to like a couple days ago. I was watching this thing on this cable show. It's called Vanguard, and they did a episode like 30 minutes or something like that on football or soccer as we know it here in the United States, um, and how there were boys that were bought and sold, and it wasn't the boys being bought and sold themselves. It was actually the contracts, because they aren't allowed to play sports without this contract. So the contracts are bought and sold, but what that would be the boys bought and sold. Um, and the other aspect of it was how the professional soccer leagues were kind of not really looking at it as an issue. Like they say it's an issue, but they don't really investigate it or do anything about it to try to change the overall culture of exploitation of these young African boys. Um, even in some cases they actually benefited from it. Some of their great players have come from these boys who were bought and sold, their contracts bought and sold to play soccer back and forth, um, as a form of slavery. And the professional sports benefited by it. Won't really acknowledge that. Um, and I don't know if it's the same thing, but this is the story I've never heard of, and I don't hear anyone talk about. So there's all kinds of things that happen that the general public just doesn't know, and apparently this is something I don't know about. So I'm gonna watch that movie. Oh, I get a little emotional and I throw tantrums. My hands wave up in the air. Ah, you know. So some of my video responses are just a reflection of my personality. I'm a little overreactive. So I don't mean to be offensive. I'm like, oh, you're stupid. Ah, I start freaking out. The camera that's just me. That's just who I am. I'm like that in person too. So I wish I could be relaxed and mellow and be cordial and nice, but that's just not me. You know. So I don't mean to be offensive. I hope you can tolerate that. Um, let's see here. You said you're talking about the cash or organizations making money and stuff like that. There was something else that might be similar. I think Penn and Teller did an episode where they were talking about the environmental movement, and they went around and made a petition and convinced a lot of environmentalists to sign a ban against hydrogen dioxide, which is water, H2O, which I thought was really funny. To me, what it seemed like is a lot of the environmentalists coming together and then rallying upon any cause, whatever cause someone decided was okay. It instead of becoming a movement for change, it became more of like a social environment. So you could get together with your environmental friends, hang out, have some food, eat, drink, hang out, socialize, like more of a social event. And it's possible that some of the organizers, a lot of these gay pride movements, where everyone's all wearing all kinds of ridiculous clothing and such, that might be what they're doing. Not only are they making money, but they're also providing a social environment for people that use it as an excuse to get together and have fun, party, joke around. Do you know what I mean? So I think that could be an aspect too, is the culture is embraced coming together and doing some really outlandish things to get attention. And I completely agree with you, and I understand your opinion on that. It's like, it's ridiculous. If you're gay, you should be for gay rights, Doesn't matter if they're Afghanistan dancing boys or if they're Americans here, or it doesn't really matter. You should be for gay rights. You shouldn't have to get in a parade and dance around and make a fool of yourself, you know. And I totally agree with you on that. I think that if you stand for a cause, you should support it, and not use it as a way to make profit, money, or as an excuse to get together socially, unless that's all you got for a social network, which is kind of ridiculous. But so yeah, I didn't mean to be over the top.